Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piroworski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on the Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news, and Craig. Guess what day it is?
Hey, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image of me that you're used to. I look money, a king bee making honey, see? Deep state, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round, I'm the new sheriff in town. All my people rise up and stand your ground. Now drink up all the Diet Coke you got on your shelf. So just let me introduce myself. My name is Trump D. I like my mashed potatoes lumpy. Fake news, oh how I like to punk thee. That little sniper on the slow tin. He took a shot but he missed me. I don't fall, y'all, I'm like the ever ready bunny. Still going strong and spunky. So put on your big boy pants. Come on, let's do the dance.
The Trumpy dance is your chance to do the Trump.
Come on, do the Trumpty Trump. Come on and do the Trumpty Trump. Check me out, y'all. We do the Trumpty Trump. Just watch me do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah. Do you know what I'm doing? We do the Trumpty Trump. Come on, everybody do the Trumpty Trump. It's time to do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah. My favorite dish is a double Big Mac, cause I find it quite delicious. I eat up all your fries cause it's scrumptious. Hey yo, my squirrel, Peanut, are you listening? Yeah, they took you out like a rat. Why they treat you like that? It never would've happened, not with me. And yeah, it's safe to assume the communist agenda gonna end up in a tomb. Whoa, crazies, I always really phase thee. You never catch because you're just too lazy. Now join me and my homie Vance, cause this is how we do the dance.
The Trumpy dance is your chance to do the Trump.
YouTube, baby.
Yeah, I had to take it just a little bit longer today. Well, just because, just felt like getting a little bit more Trumpy Trump today.
Get it? It's your chance to do the Trump. The Trumpty Trump.
There you go. Get it going, get it going, get it going. How was your weekend, my friend?
Not too bad. Did all right. Did some radio show. I took the that high speed train that we got here in Florida. I took that down to South Florida for an afternoon, and boy, you guys got to get that. You got to get that one there from LA to Vegas that you're planning. Ooh, that's good stuff right there.
Well, and the only reason that's going to happen is because it's being privately funded and managed,
Oh
not
yeah,
not run by the state.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, LA will find some way to screw it up on their end, but
Well,
it'll be
California
nice.
will find a way to screw it up.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
For
Yep,
sure, for
yep.
sure, for sure. Yeah, for me, man, it was relatively quiet. Finally got to the jungle that is my backyard slightly tamed, so that was nice. And I made a resolution. I decided, you know what? I've been cutting my grass like short, and I realized I like it longer. So it's going to mean a little bit more of a commitment going out there to actually mow, but a little bit more often. But I just decided, man, forget it. I want long grass.
Yeah, when it's longer too, the ground balls roll slower. So for
There's that.
there's baseball. Yeah. So how'd your Dodgers do in the World Series, by the way?
Well, I don't know if they are my Dodgers. I'm not necessarily a baseball fan, and if I were a baseball fan, I don't know that I would be a Dodgers fan. I will say that I was happy to see Canada lose. Um,
Oh, Canada. Yeah, I was
Canada,
happy to see
yeah,
it's funny, Canada, the Canadian team was part of the American League and they lost. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah. There you go. Canada's part of the American League.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The team from Canada. Anyway, I gotta tell you, it's I don't normally watch baseball, and I don't watch the World Series, but this was had to be the most compelling World Series ever. I mean, first you had one marathon game, and then you
Yeah.
had a second extra innings game that, I mean, bottom of the ninth, 2 on, 1 out, and they pull it out.
Yeah, listen, I understand it was exciting baseball. I'm happy
Hmm.
for the fans that got to watch it. I haven't watched baseball in a while since the current commissioner has ruined the game completely. But yeah, good for LA Dodgers, best team again. So I think that's three championships in the last 6 years. So good for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Well, hey, they did everything they could to buy it, so they might as well get it.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, here's a quick baseball story, right?
All right.
If you go to a Mets game in New York, in Queens, and when the Dodgers come to town and the Giants come to town, uh, when they do the introductions, They boo them through the entire introductions because New York is still mad, 60 years later that they left New York. So,
Well, that's what you get.
yeah, yep. Yeah, they left in 57. They still boo them to this day.
Well, you know what? If there's no there is no grudge like a New York grudge,
It's true. It's very
except for
true.
maybe a Philadelphia grudge.
They just throw batteries and stuff. They're just angry at the moment because they
They're
like to
just
be angry.
angry. They're just
But
angry. It's not a
it's a
grudge. They're just angry.
it's a it's amazing that the city of brotherly love is the most angry town around. It's-
Well, it is, man. It is. So, funny story, and since we're talking about the Northeast, might as well continue it. So, I was a big Blue Bloods fan, right? Always loved to watch the show Blue Bloods. So, I decided I'm gonna give the new show, uh, Boston Boston Blue a shot.
yeah, yeah,
And lo and behold, the only person on the show that has a Boston accent is the cop from New York.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I gotcha. Listen, I watched the first show because I was a Blue Bloods fan, but I'm done. I couldn't even tell you when it's on. I'm not, not I'm out.
It's not horrible, but it's not as fun.
It's going to be a completely different show, which I knew that, but it's just yeah, it's not the the family style show that I'm looking for.
No, I love how they're trying to diversify, and they're trying to make this intermixed interrace family make
Oh,
sense.
unbelievable. Yeah.
But I'm like,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
like, wait, who's
Intermix,
who's with
interreligion. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like, okay, let's
Yeah.
say we're gonna I'm like, it, it, it's too much, folks.
Yeah.
And what they need to do, the only thing that's missing right now is they need a Muslim and they need somebody trans, and
And they will.
they'll have the
That'll probably be like the mayor or something like, the mayor will be a trans
hmm
Muslim.
yeah.
So,
Now I will ask you this: did you notice Donnie Wahlberg's new coif?
yes. Yeah, looks
I
like
was like, okay, he looks like he invested in it.
yeah, he's got the Shatner thing going on. His hair is getting thicker over the years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, not over the years, over the weeks, more over the months.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah,
last
yeah,
season, his hair didn't look
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
New
It's got
new
something to do with the
show, new
water.
dude.
Yeah. Something to do
But
with the
hey, I
water
gotta
in
admit, it looks
Boston.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, kind of clean. Anyway, fun stuff.
Yeah.
But we got real stuff to talk about here, Mister Piwowarski.
That's right.
Let's
Let's do
start
it.
by let's go ahead and get into it. But you know how we always start, and that's with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. If you want to get yourself some AR barrels, these are the guys. They got rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you desire, and you can get all kinds of other different barrels there for pistols and rifles, whatever you need. Check them out at hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com. Use the discount code the rundown. It's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, fire, EMS, personal paintball, whatever it may be, you can get that gear. Just get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you can get everything except a gun. And again, coming to you from our friends today at Lion Arms. That's lionarmsusa.com, lionarmsusa.com. Give them a call. Tell them you heard about them on the rundown, and they're going to give you 20% off whatever they got.
And so they're now carrying PMS gear over at over at uscombatgear.com.
They got every kind of gear you could imagine, including PMS gear. Yeah,
Even
yeah.
PMS gear.
They got the
Do they
PMS
have
gear. Yeah.
menopause gear? Now that's the question.
They do, but that's in the pay-per-view portion of the show.
The pay-per-view portion of the show. Got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, folks. Well, like Mike said, take a moment, visit our sponsors. You can find them by going to the links in the description to this program. Go there, check them out, spend some money with them. Make sure you tell them it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. Also, want to encourage you. We film this show live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and we do a replay. In case get rid of any issues or anything like that. So if you want to participate, be a part of the program, and comment and let us know what you think, go ahead and do so. We're connected on YouTube, we're connected on Rumble, we're connected on Facebook, on Twitter. However, you may want to communicate, trust me, we're there. We're following your comments. And if we find them to be interesting, we will share them. If we don't, we won't. And you don't have to
Yeah.
agree with us, by the way, for it to be interesting. In fact, it's always more interesting if you disagree with us because that then gives us the opportunity to mock you.
Oh wow, is that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
Craig, you say that we filmed the show live. Are there other options available? Could we film it when we're not here? Would that work? Could we do that?
No,
Could we?
I mean it's on live, meaning people can be both be watching
Oh,
it and
okay.
participating. And
Gotcha.
then, because we have some hangups, we have some edits that may need to take place. We
So
work
so
in
we
the
we
edits, and then we rebroadcast it,
there we
a more
replay the live
perfected version.
broadcast. Got it. Got it.
There you go.
Replay
We
the live
replay,
broadcast. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
the edited live broadcast.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Because I want to stick around for when we film it when we're not here. That's what I want to
Okay.
see.
All right. I will let you know that. I will let you know when we schedule not being here.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Good stuff. All right, folks. This next one is nothing. Once again, and then so many times when we report some of these stories, it's not new to you because it's not new to us because we talk about it. Oftentimes, I think sometimes it takes the mainstream media or society time to catch up with reality, and one of those has to do with the fact that the American people are quite frankly expecting and they're preparing for political violence. There was a new poll out, and this poll was done by the folks over at Politico. So, they believe they got a little bit more swag than any of the other folks we normally would quote. But here they're talking about, it says here, America is bracing for political violence, and a significant portion thinks it's sometimes okay. It says here, most Americans expect political violence to keep growing in the United States and believe that it is likely a political candidate will be assassinated in the next few years. Probably one who's less well protected than the president. Um, it says here, widespread pessimism about political violence is rare. Violence is a rare, grim point of contention for both political and cultural divisions. And I don't know why that ad is like right in the middle of the piece as I'm trying to read it. It says here, in its view, held by a majority of Americans all across the lines of gender, age, party affiliation, and level of education, though Democrats and older voters express particular concern. Perhaps most troubling, a significant minority of the population, 24%, believes that there are some instances where political violence is justified. There was little partisan divide in that belief, but a strong generational one. Younger Americans were significantly more likely than older ones to say violence can be justified. More than 1 in 3 Americans under the age of 45 agreed with this belief. While political violence can take many forms, more than half of the Americans say that it is very or somewhat likely that a political candidate gets assassinated in the next 5 years, according to the exclusive survey. That survey cuts across party lines with agreement from 51% of last year's Trump voters and 53% of Americans who voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, I think it's interesting though, Mike, how they go out of their way to try and say, well, it's, the political divide and it's not really well. We've on this show have talked about two different polls that have been done that show that the percentage of people who believe that political violence is sometimes okay is way bigger on the left, way greater on the left than it is on the right.
Yeah, it's amazing again because here we have another story from the left trying to let the masses believe that it's okay to be violent and take action against the parties on the right. Because let's be clear on this, Craig. Every one of us sitting on the right is like, no, no political violence. Against what we're seeing now is absolutely not, and it doesn't matter if it was now under Trump or previously under Biden. We none of us support outright political violence if you don't like a candidate. We draw the line, however, Craig, because those of us on the right have read things like, I don't know, the Declaration of Independence that make it the duty and the responsibility of every citizen to resist the government in cases of tyranny. It's how we got to be here. That's how we became the United States. And I think when you ask the people on the right, is political violence okay? That's where they're coming from. If we get to the point where you're showing up at my store, at my house and taking away my civil rights, then yeah, that's something we look at maybe on a national basis. But this is again the left trying to trying to lay the groundwork that it's okay to try and assassinate politicians if you don't like what they say.
Well, and the other thing I think they don't address is, um, a lot of this, and once again, because we've seen so much of the recent political violence that's been engaged in by the left, there are a lot of Republicans who are now starting to adopt the attitude: look, you know what, you take out one of ours, we'll take out 10 of yours. I mean, they're really, and the
Right.
thought 10 eyes for an eye is starting to be, some people are starting to believe that
Yeah.
that to be the
Well,
case, and
let let
especially,
let's
yeah.
go ahead. I said let's be clear. Our
Hmm.
acceptable violence is the response to their violence.
Right.
That's what it is. It's not we're going to go out and eliminate the left. It's if you want to bring violence to us, we will give it back to you. You know,
Eh,
we are
Yep.
done now sitting on the sides and watching you try to assassinate and successfully assassinate our people. Now,
Well,
Craig, I mean,
mhm,
again, no on principle for us starting violence.
right.
Uh, Re-education camps, on the other hand, I might be open to. I might be. Yeah,
Well, but what they do, Mike, is even worse because they celebrate political violence against the right.
yeah,
They encourage it. They create the permission structures for it. And then you're surprised when they actually go and do it. I'm like, once again, I believe that most people on the left are reasonable and rational, and they're like, look, that's all hyperbole. They're not going to actively engage in that sort of violence, right? They're
yeah,
not going to go out and engage in violence against someone that they disagree with politically. But there are a lot of people out there, some of them just dumb and stupid and angry, and some of them frustrated about whatever reason that they're dealing with, and some of them that, by the way, are a little touched. And like I said before, they see someone who is an opinion leader on the left, that they're in the media, they're in entertainment, they're in sports, they're an elected official, who's saying things like, you gonna just let ICE come up in here, huh? You gonna let them come up in here? You gonna let them invade your hood? Talking to gang members. I'm like,
yeah,
I, yeah, that's called creating a permission structure. You're telling them it's
yeah,
okay for them to do this. And then
yeah.
when they
It's
do,
inciting
no wonder.
violence. Yeah,
Yes, you are
yeah, yeah,
inciting violence and you need
yeah.
to be held accountable for it.
Yep.
You don't see that from opinion leaders on the right, or at least not anybody who's well thought of. There's always like the Nick Fuenteses, who's a forgive my French, dipshit.
Yeah.
Um, but he's not considered part of the mainstream right. He's not considered part of the Republican or conservative leadership. He's just some dweeb.
Yes. Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. And I believe the
Anyway,
correct French term is "lay dipshit." Just so you
lay
know.
dipshit. Okay, it's
Yeah.
lay
Lay
dipshit.
dipshit. Yeah. 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 Yep.
There you go. And by the way, political violence, and this is the other thing, is the people on the left, they don't understand that if it's not tied specifically to Republican or to Democrat, it's not political violence. So when you have, for example, a trans shooter who goes and they decide that they're going to shoot up a church or a Christian school, because of policies that have been passed in a particular community relating to not allowing the kids to be trans, right? Um, that's political violence. Or how about when you have an ISIS inspired terror plot like the one that was actually just broken up over in Michigan?
New details on what the FBI calls a thwarted terrorist attack. Prosecutors say 2 Michigan men were planning an attack on Halloween similar to the 2015 ISIS attacks in Paris. Now they're releasing images of the suspects, they say, buying guns and practicing shooting them at firing ranges. ABC News Justice reporter Luke Barr has the latest on that. So, Luke, where is this investigation now?
Yeah, Diane, the 74-page complaint that was just unsealed by the U.S. Attorney there in the Eastern District of Michigan sort of paints this picture a little bit more fulsomely about what exactly happened. They allege that Mohamed Ali and Majed Mohammed were carrying out and purchasing weapons in furtherance of a plot for a terrorist organization. In this case, they allege it was ISIS. They charge the two men with posting extremist, in ISIS-related materials, and they also they charge the two men with, buying these firearms, carrying, going to firing ranges, and looking at these guns. And they also allegedly rented a U-Haul. They were really trying to, scout out some locations, maybe even go to a disco or nightclub, as they have alleged in the complaint. And the two men and the three co-conspirators, who are minors, we believe, allegedly were in group chats talking about this. They refer to it as "quote unquote" Pumpkin Day, in reference to Halloween, according to the complaint. And Attorney General Pam Bondi just weighed in and thanked the men and women of the FBI and law enforcement for, quote, stopping the plot before innocent lives were lost.
All right.
Okay, was it just me or did dude like completely not seem prepared to speak to the story?
No, no, it sounds like they were trying to put the news out before he had a chance to read the 74-page report that they released. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he did not. But listen, great on the FBI, great on Director Patel, great on the Attorney General's office, the Pam Bondi, just great work all the way around. This is what we
Mhm.
expect from them, and it's what they're doing.
Right. Fighting political violence, not going after people because they happen to be Christian or praying outside of an abortion clinic or
Yeah,
because they go to a school board meeting and hey, I don't want a grown ass man undressing in front of my daughter.
yeah,
Those are
yeah.
the sorts of people that the Biden administration was going after.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Yeah, yep. Just pathetic, pathetic.
Yeah,
But I did hear many times this weekend, Craig, that Biden was mentally capable of being the president still.
I I will tell you the look on Jon Stewart's face. Did you watch the video?
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
like he's like, yeah, I still believe he was president. Jon Stewart was like, oh, I find that surprising. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, man. Come on, you got to roast her for that. You cannot
Yeah.
that's what gets me about Jon Stewart. If a Republican had done that, if a Republican had said that, and said something that stupid, he would have been roasting him,
Yeah.
right? I'm
Yeah.
not saying he would have just been mean, but he would have been cracking all kinds of jokes.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. And I forget the other English reporter that she interviewed, Kamala, and
mhm.
and she refused to answer the question, and the reporter stopped her and he goes, it's a very artful dodge, but that's not the question I asked you.
Exactly, exactly. Well, like I said, I would love to be, if I could be one of those interviews just one time, and I would say, that is a very, very articulate and well thought out answer to a question that no one asked.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, her goose is cooked. Her goose is cooked.
She,
No, then there was the whole interview. Did you see the Newsom interview where he said that the president was, oh my God, he was talking about, I'm listening to this interview that he's doing, and I'm like, what bizarro world was he living in?
yeah. It's called California. Yeah.
Or there, well,
It's-
God, I like totally set that one up, didn't
That's it. Yeah.
I? Yeah. The thing, but the funny part was things didn't even go that well in California. They
Yeah.
haven't. I mean, dude, in case you don't, you have forgotten, Mister Newsom. If it weren't for illegal immigrants, the last 3 or 4 years, we will have lost residents in the state of California. If it were not for illegal immigration,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, if it's going so well, then why are so many people leaving?
Yeah, yeah, the people that are there, you're literally paying them to be there. That's just, and you're giving them the money that was supposed to go to other programs, but you're giving them that money to stay there and be your residents because everybody else has hauled ass.
It's exactly. Well, there you go. That be how it be. All right, another interesting story. Well, the SNAP story is still in the news. We talked about last week how a judge had said that they were considering requiring the Trump administration to actually fund SNAP. Well, it turns out not just that judge, but another judge also ruled in this particular case that the administration would have to fund SNAP, and well, the Trump administration has agreed to comply at least partially. This is a story coming out of the Associated Press. It says here, President Donald Trump's administration said Monday that it will partially fund SNAP for November after two judges issued rulings requiring the government to keep the nation's largest food aid program running. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, which oversees the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, had planned to freeze payments starting November 1 because it said it could no longer keep funding it during the federal government shutdown. The program serves about 1 in 8 Americans, or 42 million Americans, and is a major piece of the nation's social safety net. It costs more than $8 billion per month nationally. The government says an emergency fund it will use has 40 as 4 I'm sorry 4 million 400 I mean sorry 4 billion 650 million, or $4.65 billion, enough to cover about half of normal benefits. Exhausting the fund potentially sets the stage for a similar situation in December if the shutdown isn't resolved by then. Now, Mike, I believe the reason why they're doing this is because they're saying that they legally can't. Well, what if they want to? I mean, what if they want to? Now, if the courts have ordered them to do it, well, then someone else is going to have to take them to court to say, no, you can't do it. But even with that, okay, now what are you guys going to do? Now, what are you going to do once that 4.65 billion runs out? What are you going to do after that?
Yeah, yeah. So let's be clear, Craig. The president is not funding SNAP because the judges have said so. And even in your story there, it says the president decided to do this after the judges made the decision, not because the judges made those decisions. Okay. The president said, you know what? How much we have in the strategic reserve for, for natural disasters? Okay. Let's tap into that a little bit. We still want some in reserve. It's still hurricane season. We still want to, we're still waiting for, fires and mudslides in California. If that's what that money is meant for, that kind of relief. He said, all right, we could take 2 weeks out and fund that and still have enough money in there to get through the next natural disaster. This is again not because the judges said. Now the judges cannot order the president to issue SNAP funds. They cannot. The judge has nothing to do with the funding or the distribution of these funds. If the judge comes out tomorrow after they want hearings with the administration, and if the judge comes out tomorrow and says, "I order you to give out, pay this," sorry, no, you don't get to order the executive branch to what to do in a non-constitutional issue. And there's nowhere in the Constitution does it cover mandatory welfare to people that say, I need money. It's not how this works. They're not going to get it. By the way, I hope the administration shows up to these hearings. And when the judge says, why can't you give out the money? They go, none of your business, not your decision. Stay in your lane.
Oh no, I completely agree. I think once again we're talking about a battle over separation of powers.
Yeah.
You've got judges who think it's their job to tell the executive what to do,
Yep.
and no, you don't get to do that. And I think that's anyway. I think eventually the Supreme Court is going to come out and they're going to rule against a lot of this stuff. Uh, they already have in some cases, but
Yep.
I think they need a little bit more definitive. Like, hey, look, you guys, there's got to be some penalties to some of these judges. In other words, they need to be removed from the bench if they're not going to complain. If they're going to continue to violate the separation of powers, then they need to get the boot.
Well, Craig, that could rightfully happen if the redistricting case, which is anticipated to go the administration's way, to go the constitutional way, and we end up with another 18 seats there, then you can start impeaching judges left and right that pull this kind of nonsense. I mean, another federal judge with this past, I think it was Friday, after we aired, the ruling came out. Remember that the head of ICE in Chicago was ordered to come meet with this judge every day and tell what his enforcement plan was. It went to the appellate level, and the appellate level said, "You don't get to do that. That's not what you are. It's they're completely against the separation of powers. You don't get to do that at all. They enforce, and if you don't like it, when a crime's committed, you could sit over the case. That's how that works."
Pretty much. But yeah, no, it anyway. I just one of the things I think we're dealing with is that there is just such a difference in the philosophies of the right and the left in so many different ways. In this particular case, the role of the judiciary. And like I said, I've said this before on the show a bunch of times. The left thinks the right understands that the role of the judiciary is to interpret the laws, right? To look at a
Yeah.
case and apply the law and the Constitution to it.
Yes.
The Democrats believe that their job is to right wrongs and impose justice as they see fit.
Yep. To legislate from the bench.
Pretty much. Pretty
Yep.
much. That's what they kind of see their job as. So
Yeah.
anyway. All right, Mike. Now, this next story, you said you had a bit of an update on the whole Sig Sauer drama, or Sig Sauer saga, as I like to call it. So,
Yeah.
why don't you go ahead and share with our audience what's up?
Yeah. So it's 2-3 months ago now. There was an incident in the Air Force in their security forces, which is basically the Air Force's military police. There was an incident where a military policeman was killed, and the gun that was the one gun that was used was a Sig P320. This is the gun that there's been at least 100 documented cases by firearms experts. I mean, we're talking law enforcement, military level people, instructors, not just your basic, I bought a gun and didn't know how to handle it and shot myself. Over 100 cases of this cases all throughout the country on video of these things occurring and just going off inside of holsters. Uh, well, the security forces airman was shot and killed. There were 3 people there. The one that, ended up having pulled the trigger when and having a negligent discharge, killing the person, and there were 2 other junior Air Force security forces, personnel there, and he ordered those 2 security forces personnel to lie about it and say that the gun went off accidentally. Well, if it was number 101, the Air Force didn't know what was going deceased as well, looks like from by suicide. That's still under investigation, but it looks like he committed suicide over this event. The recall and get these guns off the street. Nope, they chose to say, what in our gun? See, told you so. They're just every chance they get, they're putting themselves closer and closer to going out of business.
I don't get it. I don't get why you do this to yourself. It
Yeah.
makes
Listen,
absolutely no
I'll give you some insight. They SIG doesn't have the money to do advertising anymore. They're not doing any more advertising. That whether it be through radio, TV, print media. There's no advertising. They disbanded their shooting team because there's no money to fund that. They're losing themselves, losing money hand over fist, and they think they're going to be able to save it. But as long as they stand there in defiance that it's not their gun, and again, video evidence over and over of these guns going off on their own.
Yeah. Once again, I don't know who the PR, I don't know who's running the PR teams for some of these companies, man. But yeah, these guys, this
Yeah.
not exactly a world class move.
I think they got Camelus, a PR team, working on it, is what it looks like. So,
Probably so. You,
you
you
know,
see how her book tour is going. Although
yeah, just
her book tour. I'll put it to you this way: her book tour was going to go down as the worst book tour in history until KJP came out with her book tour.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's amazing to watch those two. Yeah, the
It's
Lion
kind of
twins. Yeah.
it's kind of embarrassing. You know, it really is. Evidence that DEI is not a good thing.
Listen, those two lie so much that Lion Arms here is considered to getting them as spokespeople because they can make them the Lion twins.
There you go, the Lion Twins. Oh, that ain't good. That ain't good. All right, folks. Well, that brings us now to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces, one word. Okay, let's see here. We talked a little bit about baseball. This first one here coming to you from, or these first two coming to you from our friends over at the Babylon Bee, fake news that you can trust. LA hosts another Pride Parade. Oh, that's the
Oh
LA
boy.
Dodgers.
Yep. I see it. Yep.
You see. And
Yep.
then in honor of daylight savings time, government once again casts nation into darkness at 4:30 p.m.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a big fan of daylight savings time. All right, this
Yep.
next one. I don't know if you watched any of the NFL games. I know you don't usually watch NFL games, but there's a controversy of brewing, and this is when Rico Dowdle, former Dallas Cowboy running back, who another guy Dallas let get away, runs for over 230 yards again. Anyway, he decides to do a touchdown dance and is summarily disciplined. Okay, so this one has no sound. Don't ask me why this video has no sound, but he's doing two pumps, right? Now, you ask, where does that come from? Well, it came from this little Key and Peele skit.
The ref pleaded his case.
Yeah, clearly 3 pumps.
Coach Johnson definitely not happy about this call. 5 minutes into the fourth quarter, 3rd and 10. The Rhinos again threatening to score. Can the Cougars hold them?
Big play coming here, Bill.
Ransom takes the snap, drops back. He floats one into the end zone, and McCringleberry pulls it down.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh, my gosh, for his second touchdown of the day for this rookie. He has got to be feeling great about himself.
Nicely
Lot of
done.
confidence.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
man, he's...
Oh, see, now there's 2 pumps.
Yeah, he's really testing the boundaries, and he's clearly gotten the ref's attention here.
A 3rd pump will draw a flag no matter what. See, he just did it again. What is that, the 2nd time? Now you have to flag him on it.
Yeah, he had to. You know, Bill, it's just frustrating seeing young players without the ability to restrain
Oh,
themselves.
it really is. It's hard.
I mean, the ref's going to get you every time.
Yeah, absolutely. See, now the ref agrees. That's 3 pumps right there. And the quarterback, Ransom, under center. Last 5 minutes of the game. The Rhinos are marching here again.
Hard to stop this team from scoring, Bill. They have so many weapons.
Ransom takes the snap, and it's a shovel pass to McCringleberry, who he's at the 10, he's at the 5, and touchdown Rhino!
Oh, my. Great block by Hardunka-Chud, and that's going to be tough for the Cougars to come back from.
Boy, what a career day from Hingle McCringleberry, the rookie out of Penn State. Oh, he's just amazingly fired up here today, Jeff.
You got to love the way this guy plays, and he...
Oh, see, now there's 1 pump.
Uh-oh.
Well, I cannot believe this kid.
You got to put your team first in situations like this, and McCringleberry's just not doing
now
that.
There's 2. Jeff, now if he pumps a 3rd time, he will draw his 3rd penalty for today. Everybody here, waiting with bated breath.
He did it.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did it.
Oh, that's
He
just
couldn't help
that's just
himself.
amazing. I mean, come on, in professional football, it's really
a shame.
Yes,
That's what it is.
Yes,
You
it
can
is.
argue all you want, but
See now, Craig, you said this was NFL controversy, but then you talked about the Cowboys, so I don't know how that works. So
There you go. Well, needless to say, they decided to put out an apology.
Rico, man, you got robbed. You only did 2 pumps. I'm sorry, man. Now we're gonna have to write a new sketch.
So what's funny is that now there's videos of NFL players when they score, they get interception. They're all doing 2 pumps.
two pumps, okay. 2 pumps, okay. 3 pumps
2 pumps
penalty.
is okay. 3 pumps, way too much.
That's it.
It was funny because it was like I was watching it on Red Zone while I was working, and sure enough, the guy on Red Zone caught it. He was like, yeah, well, I guess 2 pumps was too much. Anyway, good times. All right, folks. Well, hey, that's going to bring us to near the end of the program. We got one last thing to do, and you know what that is. One more quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Get on over there. You can get AR barrels, rifle caliber, pistol caliber, any length you desire for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR platform. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, fire, EMS, whatever it may be, get your group together, get your agency together, get on over to uscombatgear.com. And if you want the best in custom built ARs, get on over to lionarmsusa.com. That's lionarmsusa.com. Tell them you saw it on the rundown, and they're going to give you 20% off whatever they got.
Wow, Twomps. 20% off. That sounds like an awesome deal. Y'all need to check that
Yeah,
out.
it is. It is.
Check them out. Check them out at Lion Arms. Is it lionarms.com, right?
Lionarmsusa.com.
lionarmsusa.com, and check out the rest of our sponsors by simply following the links in the description to this program.
Yep, that's it.
And
You
with
can't
that, we're
hide
going
your
to go.
lion arms. Yep.
You can't hide your lion arms. There you go.
Lion arms. Yeah, yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we will be back tomorrow on Taco Tuesday. Till then, y'all have fun, stay safe, and we will see you